I'm going to explain how we can connect MongoDB with a Spring Boot application. So let me start with the installation of MongoDB, then we'll go for the coding. And I'm going to follow the steps to install MongoDB Community Edition from the MongoDB portal. This is the URL. So I'm going to use the tool called Brew. If it is not installed, you can install it use from the official portal. You can see the home preview. And I'm going to use the tool called Brew tool. If it is not installed in your system, you may install it from this link. So I just copied it, open a terminal. Then it says update the homebrew. Yeah, it says already up to date. And now I'm going to install the MongoDB, and I'm installing the community version 7. So just copy and paste it here. So since I have already installed it, I'm getting a warning that it is already installed and up to date. To reinstall, do the same thing. So if you are installing it for the first time, it takes some time to install it. And now we are going to start the MongoDB database. To run the MongoDB as a Mac OS service, we can follow this command: brew services start MongoDB community at 7. So I'm going to use a sudo, enter the password. So it says that successfully started MongoDB community. Now if you want to stop it, you can follow this command: brew services stop MongoDB at community at 7.0. Now I'm opening a new terminal, a new tab, and start the Mongo shell, Mongo sh. So you can see that it is successfully connecting to MongoDB localhost. So by default there will be a database called a test. Now to show all the databases, there is a command show dbs, and you can see that it shows some admin, config, local. So now our database part is ready. And if you want a GUI appearance with a rich user interface, MongoDB provides another software called MongoDB Compass. So we have to download it, and here you can choose which platform. So since I'm using Intel, I have to choose only this one, Mac OS 64-bit. Then DMG, click download. So already I have downloaded it. I'm just opening it. And to install it, yes. So the installation is done. Now we can launch the application MongoDB Compass. So this is our URI. We can click connect. Yes. And this is the 3 default databases which we have already seen here: admin, config, local. Now if we want to create a new database, let us say we want to create a database called eLibrary, and the collection name, I'm going to say that books. So create the database. So now we can insert document one by one, or we can import a JSON file or a CSV file. I'm going to click the insert document. The first one is about ID, then comma. The second one, let us say book title, then its value, Java complete reference. We can add more attributes. Another one, book authors. So there will be multiple authors. You can put a set of square bracket. And you can put author 1, author 2, so there will be a publisher, so book publisher, so there will be only one publisher, so I'm going to put a press, and this is one document. And like this we can add multiple documents. Again, add data, then go to insert document, then a new document will be added. So this is our collection name, books. And now we are going to see how we can create a Spring Boot application which connects with the MongoDB database. So I'm going to use the IntelliJ. Create a new project and ensure that you have selected the Spring Initializer. You can give some name for the project. Let us say my library. I'm going to use the Maven build. You can decide the group. Then I'm packaging in a jar file. Next, so I'll be using Lombok so that it helps to reduce boilerplate code. And now we need dependency for Spring Data MongoDB. So these are the 2 dependencies I'm adding. So we can close this help file. Yeah. And go to the source, main, then go to the resources, take application.properties, and here we have to set the URI of MongoDB, the location of MongoDB database. For that, Spring dot data dot MongoDB URI, and this URI value we can find it from our MongoDB Compass application. And go to this area and you can see these three dots, select it and copy connection string. Just click that. You can see that it is successfully copied to clipboard, and put it here. And now we have to mention our database name also. For that, Spring dot data dot MongoDB database equal to, our database name is eLibrary. Now I'm going to the Java package. And to this package, I'm going to create a new subpackage called model. And here it is of books. So we create a new class called book. Private string ID for the book, so we have ID, then book title, book authors, book publisher. Private string book title, and here we can see that I'm using a different name which is compared with this book title. Then you must give the annotation at field value equal to, so just copy that book title where at field is a standard annotation. You can see that this is the predefined annotation. Then private, we need book authors, so that will be a list of string objects. So here also we have to apply the field annotation. And just copying the name. we should provide only the field name, that is the book authors. And the next one is about the book publisher. Private string book publisher the field so we have to remove the other characters. So we created the book class with ID, book title, book authors, and book publisher. And we are going to apply some annotations, that is at data. This is for getter setter. Then all arguments constructor, and if required you can provide no argument constructor annotation too. And another important annotation we have to use is document and here you have to mention what is our collection name, and don't select the second one, that will break our code. So ensure that you are using collection. And that is our collection name, books. As you see here in our software, the name is books. And I am going to create another sub package called repository. So create a new interface. Let us say book repository. And extends Mongo repository. So we have to apply the parameters for the generic. The first about the book class, and ensure that we are using the user defined book class, not from the other package. Then the string ID. And now we are going to the application class. Now in our application class, we are going to use command line runner, where it is a simple Spring Boot interface with a run method. The Spring Boot automatically calls the run method of all beans implementing this interface after the application context has been loaded. Now I'm just defining it and say that return and the body of the method. And the command line runner must be annotated with bean. Otherwise it will not be automatically called by the Spring Boot. And the next step is I am going to declare a variable of type book repository. and I'm going to annotate it with auto-wired. Now using this repository reference variable, that is book repository, we can access the API methods such as find all, delete, delete all. So right now I'm going to call find all method, where the find all method returns a list of books, but at present we have only one book. Later we can add more data. So find all dot create the stream, then we can apply the for each system.out : println method. Now let us examine whether we are getting the expected output or not. And here it goes. We can see that the book ID, book title, and book authors. Now we are going to add more book objects from the Spring Boot. So here I am going to again use the book repository dot. There is a function called save. You can see that, and pass the entity instance, and here our entity is book. And I'm going to create the object of book, new, new book, and here you can see that ID is automatically generated. So that ID part I am giving it as null, then followed by book title, let us say C++, and followed by a list of authors. For that you can use arrays dot as list, author 3, author 4. You can populate few others. And followed by the publisher. Let us say McGraw-Hill. So here we are going to save one entity instance, that is one book object. Then again we are going to call find all method. And here it goes. Now there are two book objects. Let us add few user-defined methods. The reason is if we want to find a particular book, let us say that book repository dot find book by title. Then we'll pass some title, let us say that C++. But there is no such method available in the API, so we have to create this method. So we are going to say that create method find book by title in book repository. And here we'll say that it should return that book object. So it returns the book object, and this abstract method must be annotated with query annotation. and we have to say that its value is, open a set of curly braces, and we have to find out what is the field name for that. That is book title, book underscore title, then put a colon, within single quotes first put a question mark and put 0. We have only one component. Let us say book title, then others, then for others it becomes question mark 1. So here it gives the book object. We can put this in a system.out.println method. And now let us check it whether we are getting the expected one or not. The code is breaking. Let us see. It says that incorrect result size data access exception. The reason is that 2 times the same book object is getting saved. Now there are 2 CPP books and it should be retrieved as list. So what I'm going to do is I am going to clear the repository, book repository dot, there is a function called delete all. Delete all. So this will clear the repository, clear our collection. Then we are saving first CPP. Let us save one more book object, and this is for Java, and let us say here A1, A2, and here we can give a press. So here it goes. First we are clearing the books, then saving 2 entities, then we are finding all the books, then finally we are finding a particular book object. Yeah, here it goes. You can see the first 2 lines, that is from this for each method, and the second one the CPP alone. Our MongoDB compass, and to refresh this one we can click find. You can see both data are available, and we can check it in our terminal too. For that, now when you say that show DBs, it shows our new DB. Then switch to that E library. Now we can see that db.books.find, and this is how to use the find method in terminal. Thank you for watching this.